Hello everyone, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button. We are going to make our strawberry vine. So it's going to be a two-part, this Sunday and the following Sunday. You can use, for this one, I have got some laces and stuff, but you don't necessarily need that. I think you could probably make all of this out of t-shirts. So the strawberries are actually from a bed sheet that I bought from a local charity shop that was really faded, and I think it cost me like 20 pence. It might have cost a bit more, it might have been 50 pence for an entire bed sheet and a pillowcase. And then the leaves and the actual vine are an old pair of leggings of my daughter's, and they're actually camo, but like when you twist the leaves and stuff, it's not very apparent. We can add more leaves. I've just sort of done one to get me started, and the idea is today that I would get some sort of vision for it, then I would do some more next week, and then we sort of finish it off the following week. So next Sunday, that's the 29th, and then we'll be moving into our July things. I've got quite exciting things for Junk Journal July, for the Junk Journal inside. I can't quite believe what's happened, but it has happened and we're doing it. And for the not Junk Journal side, for you guys who just like the slow stitch, we will be making a special project throughout July. It will be mainly, I think it'll be like Sundays and Wednesdays, and it might even mean I have to do 2 videos in a day, we'll see. But we can press hard for July and we can see how we go. Right, let's get on with this project. So I've got this length, and it doesn't have to be this long, but I just was like, okay, I've made a bit of a length. It is probably a metre. Yeah, it's a metre. I don't know what that is in inches. 3 foot, might be. And it doesn't have to stay 3 foot. It can be shorter, it can be longer, it can be whatever. And I just thought it would be nice actually on my kind of inspiration board that I sit and I look at. The one in front of me I want to fill up more. The one that's over by my chair is quite full. So I was like, oh, it would be nice to have them weaved in and out of the kind of notice board. So we've got strawberries, and then I want to make little white flowers and leaves, and we might even tie on an extra length or 2 so that like we could have like some of the lengths coming off. Let's just do like a snip. How are you? How's your weekend been? Mine's not the weekend I thought it was going to be, but it's alright. It was an agreed to be like mini workshops. Didn't pan out that way. It turned into a craft stall. There was a combination of things that the organisers have sort of thrown their hands up to, really. That there was lots of other things going on this weekend, and it was so hot. It was 32 degrees Celsius, which is like mid-90s anywhere else. Which doesn't, I can't explain, because so I'm not saying this as somebody who's not travelled, because I have travelled to Africa, I've been to America, albeit in the winter, but I've been across like the hottest parts of Europe, like Greece and Spain, like in the summer. And I don't know what it is, it's just that the heat is different. So when it gets particularly hot, it just lands differently. Oh yeah, we'll have little bits tied on. We might just tie them on. And it's just, I don't know, not debilitating, but I get quite ill actually in the heat. I probably get ill in any kind of heat now, but I do get ill in heat, so I was like very cautious of it and asked them beforehand what was the sort of mitigation against the heat. I don't think they really thought about that until somebody asked them. But anyway, I got there, and I'd specifically asked to go into the barn, and there wasn't any room for me in the barn. I wasn't particularly late, but I think people had got there extra early, quite eager, and I sort of was like, okay. At that point, I was nearly going to go home. I didn't say that to them, but I think the lady realised that I was very specific in my emails about heat. So basically, there was lots of moving around, and I ended up with a little corner at the door, but it meant that I couldn't do what I wanted to do, which was alright. But it did mean, am I going to put a flower there? I might do afterwards. It did mean that I couldn't do what I sort of wanted to do, which was a bit unfortunate. Yeah. But it was good in that I had lots of good conversations with people. They might not have sat and stitched. They may not have made jug journals, but, you know, I got people interested in my channel. I got some subscribers. I had conversations with other creatives. I got to see, like, I got to meet somebody who's a spinner and watch her spin. That's a video on the channel. Look at that little flower. Yeah, it was just really, really different from what I expected, but, you know, just go with the flow. So we're going to build some little flowers, and we're also going to put our fruits on, and they might be, do we do clusters of fruits? I think we might do. So we might do a little bit and then see. I do want some space, but I'm not quite sure. A cluster of fruit. What do we put? Do we have it? Because I'm making this up. I'm just making it up. We could do that so that there's like flowers in between, flowers and leaves. I like that idea. Right, I've got some white here. We'll make the odd, and there could be more than one flower in between. And we can put leaves in as well. And just make like a little cute garland. It doesn't have to be anything special. Well, I think actually everything we make by hand is special. But what I'm saying is that don't worry about it. Just have fun and make it. So this is sort of my leftover bits of things that I'd prepared. I prepared a load of strawberry pincushions because they're really easy to make. And I will put my video link to the original strawberry pincushion video, which I made last year, so that you know how to make a strawberry pincushion if you want to follow along. And then I actually got these little bits from a charity shop last week. The lace I've not had, the like string of lace I've had that for a while. But I don't think you need lace for this. I think you could actually just get like an old white t-shirt and cut little squares and just cross them over to make your flowers. They're not they're almost like just little clustery flowers. It's just nice I've got a little bit in, but you could just, you know, rip a t-shirt up. Right, I think we do need, do we need to change our cotton? We need a little bit. I want to see how that will pull before oh yeah, I like how you can pull the t-shirt material and it flexes. Just becomes a little bit more organic as a leaf shape. And it's the same, it's actually a pair of leggings, but it's the same sort of like knit fabric with a lot of elastane. This is the sort of stuff that wears out and goes into a landfill. So you're just sort of making something pretty out of rubbish. Oh yeah. See, and I can have lots of leaves. Lots of leaves. Oh, that's quite nice. I like it. Yeah, that's going to look nice. So yeah, yesterday wasn't what I expected. And it was so hot. We were in this barn, and it felt cool when you went outside and then came back in, but it wasn't actually that cool. It was still quite warm. But I'd taken like a little keep me cool kit, which was the right move to do, really. I even had a little footstool so that my feet weren't down, because I get swollen feet in the heat. So that my feet were sort of elevated enough so that they didn't really swell, which was really good. I was very happy with that. What do we think about our little flowers? Our little curly leaves. I like it. I think it needs 3 leaves though. I don't know why. I think not just 2, but 3 leaves. The windmill is beautiful though, and there is a little video of me walking around the windmill, and then a video of me with Jane, the spinner. I didn't take video inside the in the barn. It was very dark, and I just didn't want to intrude on there was other people there with the stalls. I didn't want to intrude on their privacy, and it was yeah, I just didn't want to. It was nice though. There was an old man, and he knew where I was from. He was like, kind of, "Are you from Wigan?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Oh." I said, "My family grew up in Higher Ince." I was like, "Oh, my mum's side of the family from there." So we had a nice conversation. That was nice. Okay, I like that. Let's make some more, and then we'll place them. And I can get away with this last little bit of cotton before I change it. We'll see. I'm only sewing a button on, aren't I? Okay. So we had a little white flower. We had a little bit of that. We could do something different as well. What about a little touch of this? Just a little bit. Kind of across. Is that going to work? Or do we need 2 lots of it? I like fiddling around with little tiny bits and pieces. And I like making something out of nothing. It kind of really floats my boat. So, but look at these tubes are so fantastic. They're plastic, but they're from like an old haberdasher shop. My favourite charity shop that I've not allowed myself to go back into. I will do soon, because I don't want them to think I've abandoned them, because I talk to them about other things, not just the charity shop and creative stuff. But just like the past, is it 3 weeks since I've been in there? Just run away with me. But I don't really want to spend any money when I'm in there. I might just send the lady an email. Yeah. Let's do that way. Oh, keep finding the same hole. So I even took some slow stitch to do, but I ended up chatting. This is for yesterday. I'm on a tangent. I ended up chatting to the lady who was on the stall next to me, and we made a really good connection. We talked about YouTube, and she paints like pet portraits is her thing, pets, and also sort of landmarks, just things in the local cathedral shop, which I found was fascinating. But they only want sort of mass-produced stuff, so she sort of like does a painting and then gets it printed out. It's just they don't want handmade things. Oh well, fair enough. Oh, I like that. That's a scrappy little flower. Because it could be that like we do some more leaves off, just not quite touching, like that. Yeah, so there's lots of leaves going on. I think 5 leaves is good. And then we can put another straws. Yeah, that'll be nice, won't it? I think once we build it up, it'll look good. I mean, these are good little clusters if you want to put them in a junk journal. Quite nice. So I've got Junk Journal July to plan. That's what I'm really thinking about, Junk Journal July. I've got a needle here I can use. So it's in collaboration with me and Be Happy Stationery are hosting it. And I put all the prompts together. And what I do is I have a prompts jar, and I just took the prompts out of there. Now I do take prompts from other, like last year's Junk Journal July. I took the favourite ones and put them in that jar, but there's also ones that I completely made up myself, which was good. Yeah, I'm a bit blown away by it really when I think about it. I started with Junk Journal July last year, and I would have never, if you'd have told me this time last year, oh well, you'll be doing that, and obviously it's not going to be anywhere near as big as Meg's, but just the thought that would just be a year, it's insane. I just can't get my head around it. I love it, absolutely love it. And we're kind of like, we're all sharing more than one day, the design team, but like it's kind of like small beginnings, like great things come from small beginnings. So I'm so glad that I stepped out, because I remember it took me a long time to really step out with a channel. What I might do is just like kind of keep adding leaves, tucking under. So here we go. Let's see. So yeah, I can't get my head around it. And one of the things, like at the beginning of the year, I wanted to do was like to connect. That was one of the reasons I started the channel. So it was like I was like, right, I have to just keep going and keep connecting with people and just talking to people, because like I need that, not just that the channel needs that. That's something that I found that I need. So that's why I did the thing yesterday, because I thought, well, it might not be like what we kind of were talking about on the email. I don't know. It might. I just didn't want to say no. Don't want to say no. Don't want to. Just go with the opportunities. I think that's the thought, really. So that's what I did, and it was all right. It only cost me £10, really. Actually had a reasonable day. Should we put another flower on that side, and because it's going to twist, isn't it? Oh, okay, let's do that. We want it to twist. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. That works. So I don't think it's going to be a very long video tonight, guys. It's going to be quite short, just while I sort of sort this out in my head about what's going to happen. And then I'm going to go make some dinner. Then I will be back on the computer, I think, doing Junk Journal July things. You don't realise how much work, well, I kind of did realise how much work it is, because I've organised events and stuff in real life, but yeah, it has been almost like a little bit of a second job recently, which is alright, because I want to do stuff I want to do. If it was stuff I didn't want to do, I think I'd be like, oh, where's the money? But this is, payment is different. It's about connection. Okay, I like that. Might want to put some more leaves on that. Or another berry. I don't know. I just wanted to make something out of nothing. It's a skill. I think you have to keep using. I think really that's the essence of my craft, is making something out of nothing. You know, like taking an unusual route to creativity. I've managed to pull that off there. I didn't sew that on very well, did I? That's alright. That's actually given us an opportunity. What's Bob Ross say? Happy little accident. Wonder if we really pack them in, if that'll look better. I think it might actually, if we put another leaf here. The wind is howling. Let's get some more cotton. Howling, but it's really warm. Miles has been working on turning the garage into a garden room or an office. Putting more insulation in today. If I put it in front of me like that, I would be looking at it through the camera, because the camera is right in front of me. I just feel more comfortable using this camera angle. I know it might mean that it kind of bounces a little bit, so let me know if you prefer the above angle. I'll happily return. I like the angle of it actually, because it's not just straight down. It just seems different. Okay. Right then. So we've got this, and this is well and truly on. So let's put another leaf. That we can twist. Can we twist that one? Yeah, we can twist. I do apologise for shaking the camera. What's our front? It doesn't matter, does it? I was looking for some wool, because I've got a box somewhere. I think it's in these big plastic totes next to me, and I was not getting into them until I found that wardrobe. But yeah, I was like, I've got some really thick wool. But this is doing, this cord stuff's alright, that I've made out of the leggings. That's working. We could put some bees and things in, couldn't we? Little butterflies. We did some sewn bees the other day. That might have to take a little bit of time. They take quite a while to sort of. I would want to do the version where I embroider the bees. They take quite a while to do. But they're a very nice, mindful thing to do. Like stamping something and then embroidering it out. Right, I've got two more, another leaf. Now this pair of leggings, I mean, it was only a child's pair, but I can see that I will get loads and loads of leaves and vines and stuff out of it. It's not going anywhere. And I want to move away from the plastic, you see, because I've been making these pincushions. Let me show you. Like these are the original ones, and they're felt, and they are pretty. I really love them. This is the first one I made actually, but it's all plastic. This is another one that's got a little scissor keep attached to it. But again, yeah, it's just plastic. We don't want that. Well, I don't. I'm kind of losing patience with plasticky bits. So we could could still attach. Oh yeah, no, actually we want a little bit of a gap. Right, let's attach this here so it goes under like that. Getting all tangled up in my vine. I just thought it's strawberry season here. We're coming to the end of strawberry season actually. Is Wimbledon on? I think Wimbledon is on. That's peak strawberry season, but I think the season started a little bit earlier because of the weather. So yeah, it's kind of peak strawberry season. I might have some strawberries after my dinner actually. It's that time of year where they're always in the fridge. Always in the fridge. I'm going to go over that pink thread because I don't really want the pink thread on there. On the button. Oh well, gone over it a little bit. Do I do it again? Okay. Alright, let's put another leaf on. Could be a little leaf. And it doesn't look too camo-y. It kind of just looks all different greens. I like it. Let's put that underneath. It's all going to get tangled. So tomorrow we'll have a mindful make. I think it'll be a slow stitch one, but it won't be this project. I'm going to carry on with the pockets. So it'll be stitching another saying onto a pocket. And I've not worked out, I've got like a list in my head of what the saying would be, because that's basically how I would base the little meditation thing that we do on that. I want to bring that in. So I will have a think later and then write it. So this is where there's like loads going on and I don't want to stop. I don't want to lose momentum, but I don't want to burn myself out either. So it's good that I don't have to do every day for Junk Journal July. And just do it if I want to do it. And I'm not panicking if I've not done it. There might be days where I put 2 videos out. It depends on where my days, because I've sort of chosen prompts that the others didn't really want to do. And I didn't think about, oh, is that going to be on a Sunday or is that going to be... But that's alright. We can work that out and people can watch what they want to watch. Or spread their watching out. It'll all work out. It's kind of... I think... And I think this might be what we do for our meditation, is the progress is more important than any sort of perfection. So it doesn't mean you don't do things well, but it means you keep moving forward. What if I tied another like that? Okay, put your needle down while we have a think. So we could do a strawberry really close now. Yeah, I think we will. I think we might cut another little bit off and do a tie where there's a strawberry. I like that idea. So make some strawberries. Use what you have. You might have like little bits of lace. You might not. If you've not got little bits of lace, use like little bits of t-shirt to make. Just do the same thing but with white and put a white button in the middle. I think it'll still look really cute. Okay. How's that hanging? I think I'm going to put ones on, but then I might at another point like come and add like do it in threes. Might be too much. We'll see. It's going to be resting on something. Alright, let's do another one. Let's do a smaller one. Variegate the size. Let's do like a little. Was that longer? I think it was, wasn't it? I've also got the workshop in the week at work, but if it's the similar temperatures, people are not going to want to do it. So I think what I might do is send an email off tomorrow and say, look, I'm just thinking about the temperature in the building and whether people will be up for doing anything. Do you want me to just do a guided meditation? And then in September, when it might be a bit cooler, there's that little tie there, but I still want another one. I like the ties on it. When it's a little bit cooler, sort of have that at the point where we do some crafting. I don't know, see, I don't want people not to enjoy it. Which is alright, because I've sorted loads of stuff out, because I sorted stuff out for this weekend, and I kind of batch things up so that I'm not overdoing the work. So it's all, to all intents and purposes, it's done. There's just there was just a couple of things I wanted to do. Yeah. So I'll send that email off tomorrow. I'll talk to my manager and then I'll say, well, I might talk to my manager and get her to talk to her manager when she sees her on Tuesdays, because that's like her day. We only go in on a Thursday, but she goes in on a Tuesday as well. So I might do that way. Normally this is a really difficult fabric to use, but for things like this, I'm actually quite liking. I'm thinking there's other things we can do that's a bit like this. Okay, I think I might need 4 for attaching onto the cord as well. Give it time. Oh, half an hour's gone. We'll put this one on and then we'll have an idea of how it's going to look. And for an idea that I thought of as I was putting Junk Journal July together this afternoon, because I was going to get my bag out and thought, I'll update my bag. And then I changed my mind about which book I wanted to use and make for Junk Journal July. And then I started fiddling around with ideas and this idea came, so I thought, oh, okay. If you've got an idea in your head, just go with it. It'll either work or it won't work, but you won't know until you've tried. Oh, that could be the thing for tomorrow. Be adventurous. You won't know until you've tried. That could be, because I was going to do progress over perfection, but I actually think that, we can still meditate on something that's lighter. Lighter button, having said that. That's a button we've already used. Oh, I've not used that one. Yeah, that might be the way. just noticed I've cut my finger. Probably stabbed myself. And I've just hit the light. I apologise. It was strange. There was me and the lady on the stalls. We were chatty, and the little old man, after he said his bit about Wigan, he kind of just sort of sat there, really, ate his sandwiches, let his wife do all the talking, and she just sort of talked to him, really. Yeah. Strange how Wiganers are literally everywhere. My mum has been all over the place, and there's been people who've like heard her accent and gone, "Are you from Wigan?" In fact, this is not actually about my mum, it's about my brother. My brother lives in Canada, in BC somewhere, and they were in Vancouver. I think they've gone to Thomas the Tank Engine World or something. I don't know if you have that in Vancouver. If you're in Canada, let me know. And they sort of got lost, and the little boys were sort of like upset and stuff, and so they were like, "Oh, where can we go?" And they were thinking, we just need somewhere friendly where like we can go in and say like we're a bit lost, and can the boys use a loo and get something to eat, like just like a friendly sort of spot. And they turned this corner. I don't know where they were, somewhere in Vancouver, and they turned this corner and they see this sign for the Wigan Pier chippy. They were like, no, they thought they were like hallucinating, and it was this couple had moved over from Wigan and done like a British fish and chip shop, or a chippy as they're known up north. And so they had like chippy tea. Tea is something in the north of England that you eat, you don't just drink. It's like a meal. It's sort of your evening meal when you first get in from school, or it could be your main evening meal. For children, it's generally the main evening meal. Yeah, so they had they're like, we couldn't believe it. Actual people from Wigan so they felt like at home, like they immediately felt at home. And like the couple there were really sweet and helped them out and sorted their boys out, and just kind of gave them that little bit of comfort that you need in a situation like that where you're a bit lost and everybody's a bit fed up. Yeah. And I think in a situation like that, you automatically become a friend. Just because, you have that commonality, don't you, of where you're from. It's like that with South Africans as well. There's always a South African Miles finds. They get everywhere as well. So the Wigan doesn't have a pier. There's a book by George Orwell who wrote Animal Farm in 1984. Is it 1984 or 1983? I can never remember. I've read it, but it was a long time ago. And he wrote a book called The Road to Wigan Pier, and it was like an observation of the north. Yeah, particularly in Wigan. And Wigan Pier there is such a thing as Wigan Pier, but it's at the side of the canal, because it's an industrial revolution town, and so canals were used to transport like all the goods, the cotton, and then the coal that was used to sort of power all of these mills and factories. All on the canal. And then you needed like places where you could take goods on and off the canal barges. And they were called piers. And they're just literally like metal that come out, railroad tracks, like narrow gauge railroad tracks that kind of come up like that, so that you could push like your whatever and it would tip up, and then you could tip it over like that. And so there is one down in the canal in the town centre, and it's called Wigan Pier. So that's what George Orwell based his book on. hence the name of the chippy. So it will stretch, so we could put more stuff on, but I like it because I think once it's all sort of wrapped around something, so I want some little bits of in between, because once it's sort of wrapped around, it'll become like a little vine situation. Oh yeah, I like that. We can, that'll be nice, sort of diagonally and trailing over my board above me. So that's what we're going to do. Next Sunday we will do part 2 of our strawberry vine. See if I can push it back. I'm hoping I have been in shot. I think I have. I will watch it back and make sure. So this is part 1 of strawberry vines. I will put in the description a link to the other video so that you could go and watch how to make a strawberry pincushion, which are very easy. Very, very easy. It's like a slow stitch, real beginner slow stitcher type thing. I'm sure I tell you the story of how I started making them. I was quite unwell and made redundant at the same time, and they kept me sane. That's why I think this and the junk journal, any craft, is vital for your well-being, particularly if you're a creative person. Yeah, the spinning lady was saying that yesterday, that when she gets into her like motion, it's like she just sort of zens out. It's like a meditation. So I was like, oh, perhaps I need to start spinning. I don't need any more crafts. But there we go. Right then, guys, I will see you soon. It'll be tomorrow for a meditation. It's brewing in my head, and I'm sure it'll be out by the time we come to tea time tomorrow. All right then. Bye-bye.